Well, good evening, welcome. Good afternoon, rather. And my name is Peter Wakaba, and today is, of course, the 10th day of April. This is KTN Business Today, and on this show, we will be bringing a wide array of stories that will be coming at you from different parts of this town, different parts of this country, indeed, different parts of the world. Today on the show, we will be talking about matters integration across the continent, financial accessibility, improving access to financial services, an organization that is at the forefront of that move. We'll be talking to EcoBank, who are here in the studio. Humphrey Muturi, who is Executive Director and Head of Commercial Banking for Kenya and the East Africa community. He will be here to talk to us about what they're doing to empower various SMEs and business people across the region. Also, the fact that one of the technological innovations that they have put out there into the market has recently achieved several different milestones. What are those? Later on the show. Also here today, the fact that we have a significant focus on matters internet security. What does that mean for you? What are the cyber criminals doing in order to, get into your data, either steal your identity or things like that? We'll be bringing you an update on that and what exactly the government has been doing to try and stay ahead of the curve on that. As usual, we want to start off at the markets to bring you up to speed on what exactly the barometers of the economy and, of course, the currencies markets are saying. And we want to start off with the, Kenya shilling and other currency pairs. Of course, usually we do start off with the dollar, the pound, and the euro. So, the dollar pegged at 189, 101.09 buying and selling levels, while the pound is pegged at 142.59, buying 142.91 selling levels. The euro, 124.26, 124.53 buying and selling levels, respectively. These, of course, are the statistics as put out by the Central Bank of Kenya, and they will differ slightly depending on the commercial entity that you will be talking to. While NSE performance, latest numbers, turnover 2.8 billion shillings, shares traded 84 million, NSE share index pegged at 3820.81, while bonds traded to the tune of some 7.3 billion shillings. You will, of course, remember that these numbers are delayed and are expected to update when the market does indeed close. It has closed a few minutes ago. We'll be receiving the delayed numbers in just a few minutes. Of course, the feed is delayed by at least 15 minutes for the entire trading ecosystem. Well, let's look at the stocks that have been driving that trade. Equity Bank, Barclays Bank of Kenya, Kenya Power, and Safaricom. Equity, having traded counters to the tune of some 5.27 million shares. Barclays Bank of Kenya, 4.73 million shares bought and sold, where Kenya Power moved 2.02 million shares. Safaricom, 1.98 million, to, of course, change usual trend on that day and not be the largest trading counter of that day's trading. Again, to remind you that these numbers will continue to update in terms of where exactly the market has closed. Well, what are the bears and, the bulls of that trading session? We started off with the winning stocks. These, of course, are the bulls. Samia Africa, Mumias Sugar, Standard Chartered Bank, and Home Africa. Samia Africa trending up 9.30% to 2 shillings 35 cents, while Mumias Sugar, they're up 6.25% to 0.85 shillings. Standard Chartered Bank, 8.80% up to 240 shillings, while Home Africa trended upwards some 4.76% to 1 shilling and 10 cents. Well, let's look at the bears now. These are the losing stocks. Of course, the stocks that have been shedding, value on the day. Everready down 8.89% to 2 shillings and 5 cents. East Africa Portland Cement, 6.5%. Down to 25 shillings flat. National Bank of Kenya, 4.19% to 8 shillings, while Express Kenya was down 2.17% to some 4 shillings and 50 cents. Well, so what exactly are the stories that have been driving this trend? We start off, with some news about the internet, where the onslaught of cyber criminals on Kenya's private enterprises, public sector institutions, and individuals continues to rise, with total financial losses registered in the country amounting to some 21 billion shillings. The 2017 Africa Cybersecurity Report conducted by Serianu reveals that Kenya, having had the highest number of attacks with 55% of all malicious traffic within the region. This year, cybercriminals employed a very complex cyber attack targeting 10 organizations in banking, insurance, utilities and government across 3 countries in Africa. The attack, which took place for more than 12 months starting October 2015 to August 2016, relied on various ways of getting people to give out their information. Take a look.
What we are trying to do, first of all, as government, is put into place legislation. With the new legislation, the Cybercrimes Act, we'll be able to put into place the infrastructure for the protection of our cyber environment, provide the mechanisms for detection and for punishment of cyber rogues. But we've got to remember that there is one field that contorts and changes and mutates every second, and that is the cyber world. There's always somebody coming up with a new type of ransomware. There's always somebody coming up with new ways of identity theft. So it means that you have to be able to create a critical mass of cybersecurity experts, of cybersecurity professionals who will be able to meet the challenges as the new viruses, the new ransomware develops. It's a continuing exercise. It's not something that you solve with one solution.
Well, the Kenyan delegation set to present the World Chamber of Congress hosting a bid before the International Chamber of Commerce during China left the country this weekend for China ahead of their presentation date. The team, led by the bid chairman James Mureu, met Deputy President William Ruto in his current office on Saturday, who resounded with support from the government. The World Chambers Congress is the only international forum for chamber leaders and professionals to share best practice, exchange insights, develop networks, address the latest business issues affecting their communities, and learn about new areas of innovation from chambers around the world. A high-powered Kenyan delegation consisting of players from both public and private sectors left for Beijing in order to present Nairobi's bid to host the 2021 Chambers Congress here in Nairobi.
The Chamber of Commerce in Kenya is putting in a bid to host the World Chamber Congress in 2021. And if we are successful, it means we will have 2,000 delegates from about 150 countries. It's a big thing, and we are hoping that we'll be successful. We are competing against Dubai, Oman, and Ethiopia, but we believe that Kenya is the place to go. So we are confident that on the 10th and the 11th in Beijing, we'll be putting a very strong bid together with KICC,